Hi, on Woodpecker today, I'm making push blocks. I have several types of pushing devices, from the simplest to the more sophisticated, but I don't use them often because when the back rubber get dusty, they don't grip anymore. So I mostly use them to apply pressure on a piece of wood. I also have this type of pushing sticks. I know, some people only use this type of pushing device, but when I use them, I don't feel safe. It seems I have no control over my piece of wood. This is the model of push blocks I've been using for several years, and I bet you even saw me using them once or twice in the past, and I'm not scared to pass them over the saw blade. But I had a small accident. Both of my original push blocks are broken. I made them from solid wood, and they always break when I drop them on the floor. Since both of them are from an old article of shop notes, I decided to take a picture of the handle of a broken one. Then I used Photoshop to trace the outline of my new push blocks. I begin by cropping the picture. Next, I enter the dimensions I want for my push blocks. Then, on a new layer, I trace its outline with Bezier curves. When I'm done, I modify each point to make the curves look like the outline of the original push block. The last thing I do is to add a bullseye to mark the center of the holes I'll need to drill to make the handle's interior curve. Then I can print several copies of my new pattern. Back inside the shop, I cut each of my pattern and stick them all over a scrap piece of plywood. This is 2 layers of plywood that was already glued together. In fact, it's a scrap piece of one of my coat racks bending forms. Next, on the drill press, I drill 1 1/4 inch hole directly on every bullseye that I've printed. Then I cut the rest. After removing the paper, I can sand each corner round and smooth. Then I round over the corners, but not where the masonite hooks will be screwed. Okay, now I have several handles. I also need the same amount of scrap 2x4s. All those scraps come from each ends of all my shelf supports. Now I can cut the small pieces of masonite, which will hook behind a piece of wood. Then I can use a clamp to hold everything together while I pre-drill a hole so I can screw everything together. I think I have enough push blocks now, and those ones will last longer than my old ones, since they're all made from plywood. I hope I've inspired you to make your own push blocks, and see you soon in the next episode of the Woodpecker.